You're watching Newsline 14, live on Topper Station.
Good afternoon and welcome to this edition of Newsline 14. I am Siddhi Mahatule.
And I'm Lainey Lynch. Let's see what's happening on the Hilltop and in national and local news.
The United States has decided to end normal trade relations with Moscow in its bid to increase pressure on President Vladimir Putin. The US Congress passed two bipartisan on last Thursday, all aimed at punishing Russia for its invasion of Ukraine. The first bill suspends normal trade relations with Russia and the second bill bans oil, coal and natural gas from it. The bills now go to the President Joe Biden for his signature. Both parties overwhelmingly supported both of the bills, which had languished for weeks in the Senate as the lawmakers worked to hammer out the final details. The legislation, which also applies to Russia's ally Belarus, enables Biden to inflict higher tariffs on various imports such as steel and aluminium products, further weakening the Russian economy combined with the sanctions already imposed on Russia. The latest bills will only inflict more economic pain on Russia, but the sanctions have not spared the US consumers who are already facing the highest inflation in 4 decades.
A new variant of COVID-19 called XE has appeared in the UK, but experts say it is still too early to tell whether it should be a major concern yet. XE is a combination of two versions of the Omicron variant. Since the XE variant has been identified in January, 600 people in the UK have been infected. Because it is still too early, it is not clear whether this variant is more contagious than previous variants or not. Infectious disease specialist Dr. William Schaffner said that there is no reason to panic, and he is more concerned about BA2. BA2 is the dominant variant worldwide, and it accounts for 72% of COVID-19 cases in the US. Infectious disease experts are concerned that variants will be contagious and lethal, but Omicron-related variants seem to have caused less severe disease.
Elon Musk, one of the richest men in the world, the owner of Tesla, now owns 9% of Twitter. On April 5th, Twitter Incorporation entered an agreement with Elon Musk that gave Musk a seat on the board. The agreement is that Elon Musk can't own more than 40.9% of Twitter's outstanding stock. Twitter CEO Parag Agrawal stated in a tweet that Musk would bring great value to the team. One of the first questions Musk was asked was his dedication to free speech and the First Amendment. However, no responses on that yet, and other Twitter changes he might push. He did tweet about an edit button that users having been asked about for a long time now. What Elon Musk will do with Twitter is really up in the air, and all we know is he wants to make improvements.
West Liberty University is making some progress hosting multicultural events on campus under the Department of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion to welcome and support as many diverse students as possible. Let us hear from our anchor, Siddhi Mahatale, for more on the story.
Welcome to Newsline 14. As we all know, our university appointed Dr. Monique Akasi as an interim diversity, equity and inclusion leader on January 31st. Right now, I am standing in front of the Shaw Hall building on our very own WLU campus. Dr. Akasi has versatile ideas for students to encourage diversification on the campus. Let us hear from her about her time in our university so far and what she plans ahead.
One of the things here at West Liberty, one that's actually ranked as number 8 according to Niche as being most diverse institutions in the state of West Virginia. We want to make sure that the students are ahead of the curve and that we are preparing all students to become global leaders. And we know in order to do that, we need to make sure that we have a diverse body of students from all walks of life in order to stay ahead of the curve, and so our students can be those global leaders that we're looking for.
She has tried to create engagement among students by hosting meet and greet session with the Spices International Club, and also tried with Women of Color Initiative Mentoring Group to promote Black History Month. Let us hear from Kate Billings about diversification on campus.
Her coming into the position has been really beneficial in both those roles for me, because I feel like there is a leadership component that is bringing together all entities on campus, the programming, the admissions, how are we looking at HR and hiring processes of diversity on campus.
Dr. Akasi is trying to cultivate diversity, equity, and inclusion on the campus by hosting more such programs where students can casually express their thoughts and experiences.
I think that the diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives that we have planned thus far will certainly make the campus much stronger. I think having an appreciation for diversity is extremely important in 2022.
Hope we are all feeling welcomed on the campus through multicultural events which promote diversity, equity, and inclusion. After all, diversity is unity. I am Sadima Hadole reporting for Topper Station on Newsline 14.
Thank you, Sadi. We hope all students feel at home on West Liberty's campus.
Ohio lawmakers are being pushed to approve a bill that would allow educators to carry guns in school. House Bill 99 would give Ohio schools the authority to allow teachers to carry with only 20 hours of training. According to WTRF reporter Melissa Reid, president of the Ohio Education Association, Scott DeMoro said, "We have some serious concerns about House Bill 99, which would essentially gut training requirements for any school employees who are authorized to carry weapons on school property." DeMoro said, as of now, teachers must undergo basic peace officer training at 700 hours in order to carry a weapon. In addition to teachers, janitors, cafeteria workers, and support staff would be allowed to carry a gun in schools. The bill has passed in the House. It is currently in Senate committee and has yet to be voted on.
We'll be right back after the break with campus news.
Find out which staff member is retiring here on Newsline 14.
Please, not the trash. Take me along. I can be repurposed. Just give me another chance.
It takes more than one person to make a big difference, but one person can make a difference.
Welcome back to Newsline 14.
Here's the campus news update.
This year's Topper Day of Giving was one for the record books. With the support of local alumni, donors, and friends, the WLU Foundation made history by raising over $280,000 on April 6th. The money raised the money raised will go toward academic and toward athletic programs on campus. The leading fundraising campaign for the highest amount raised This year's Topper Day of Giving was one for the record books. With the support of local alumni, donors, and friends, the WLU Foundation made history by raising over $280,000 on April 6th. The money raised will go toward academic and athletic programs on campus. The leading fundraising campaign for the highest amount raised goes to the Hilltop Players and Theatre program for raising over $17,000. In second place for funds raised and first place in the greatest numbers of donors is the wrestling team. 207 donors came together to raise over $16,000 for the wrestling program. The foundation surpassed their fundraising goal of $200,000, but it's not too late to donate. Programs like the Center for Arts and Education, College of Liberal and Creative Arts, and the Albin Library are dollars away from reaching their matching goal. To support one of the programs in this year's Topper Day of Giving, visit wlufoundation.org for more information.
West Liberty's Zoo Science program has students from all over the world. A student all the way from Brazil, Danielle Keller Vieira, enrolled at WLU for the program. According to Marie Zambito, Director of Media Relations, Keller Vieira had universities from a variety of states on her list to attend, but decided on WLU for our unique zoo science degree. Due to COVID-19, Keller Vieira had to complete her first year of college virtually. She said, quote, "Starting college online was definitely a different experience than I was looking for, especially when your major requires a lot of hands-on experience," end quote. She moved to campus after the borders opened and was able to take advantage of the hands-on portion of her zoo science degree and experience the various campus activities. Keller Vieira said, quote, "Because of their support, I was able to come here and pick up on everything so quickly, and I feel like I haven't missed anything," end quote. For more information about WLU's Zoo Science program, visit westliberty.edu/zoosci.
Reporter Caitlin Reynolds got the latest on the suicide walk. Here's what she had to say.
I'm Caitlin Reynolds reporting from Newsline 14. I'm currently in front of Black Neck Hall where the Suicide Prevention Walk is currently held. Let's see what they have in store for us. Many people gathered in Black Neck Gym to raise awareness for suicide prevention. Diane Nickerson and Jessica Horn planned the whole event together. Jessica is the vice president of a sorority called Kappa Phi. She had this to say about the event.
So Kathleen Wack is actually doing yoga in just a few minutes, and then we also have a really nice sand ceremony planned where it's very much like about unity and just everything collaboration together. So we're looking forward to that, and then we also are encouraging everybody to walk 22 laps because 22 veterans a day commit suicide. This event had many booths ranging from sororities on campus and also other organizations. One of those booths were Helping Heroes, which helps veterans with housing and transitioning them to the outside world. There was a sand ceremony to show support for the cause. The beads represent different meanings for the participants, such as losing a loved one to suicide. Before they started the walk, they had yoga for the participants to partake in. Diane Nickerson, the director of the campus ministry at the Interfaith Chapel, explains why this event is so important.
It's important that we show support and that students know and the community know that mental health is an issue that we can talk about and that it's important to especially students. During these last couple of years they've had a rough time, and it's important to know that they have our support and that people are aware of what can be done for students who are struggling with their mental health.
Participant Alexa Schmader explains what this event means to her.
This event actually does mean something very special to me just because I know a lot of people in my life. I've had a lot of friends struggle with suicidal thoughts, and especially over COVID during 2020, during the lockdown, I had one particular friend go through a couple different episodes, and it was really scary, and I'm just glad that there are programs here that are kind of helping people, to improve their mental health and hopefully prevent suicide.
This event was held on Wednesday, April 6th at 4 p.m. I'm Caitlin Reynolds from Newsline 14 at Topper Station.
Thank you, Caitlin. Now let's get back to the campus news.
The College of Liberal and Creative Arts will host a celebration week to honor the merging of the College of Liberal Arts and the College of Arts and Communication. The event will take place from Monday, April 18th to Sunday, April 24th. College of Liberal and Creative Arts Celebration Week will consist of daily events that feature different majors within the college. Some of these events include the launching of the new Student Library and Art Journal Threshold, the annual Hughes Lecture, music performances, and the opening of the Senior Art Exhibition. A bomb-sniffing dog will also visit campus during this event. On Friday, April 22nd, the College of Arts and Communication will host a party on the quad from 2 to 4 in the afternoon. Students, faculty, and staff from all colleges are welcome to participate in any of the events. For more information, contact the Dean of the College of Liberal and Creative Arts, Dr. Conchar Farr.
A West Liberty professor is soon to retire after 25 years of teaching on campus. Professor of English and Director of Honours Program, Dr. Peter Staffel, will celebrate retirement at the end of the academic year. Staffel specializes in William Shakespeare, 18th century British literature, classical studies and mythology. With 35 years of teaching under his belt, Staffel says that he is ready to enjoy traveling and attending more showings of the opera and theatre. Before becoming a teacher, Staffel earned 4 degrees in different forms of English from Tulane University, University of Idaho, the University of North Carolina, and Edinburgh University in Scotland. A celebration in Staffel's honor will be held at 3:30 p.m. today in the alumni area of the Elbin Library. Send off Dr. Staffel with warm wishes as he departs the hilltop.
Assistant Editor Brianna Hammond has an update on the Trumpet's next publication. Here's what she has to say.
Good afternoon. I am Brianna Hammond, Assistant Editor of the student-run newspaper, The Trumpet. Issue 21 publishes tomorrow, and here's a preview of what you can find. Starting off the news section on page 3, generous donors and supporters of West Liberty came together to make history for the 6th annual Topper Day of Giving. The WLU Foundation surpassed their goal and raised over $280,000 during the event. More on page 3. Next up, philanthropic leader Jim DeNova is announced as the Spring 2022 Commencement Ceremony Speaker. More about DeNova on page 4. On page 5, we discuss the soon retirement of Professor of English and Director of the Honors Program, Dr. Peter Staffel. Staffel plans to retire after 25 years of teaching at WLU. More on page 5. Ending the news section this week is an article on the $5,000 grant awarded to the Physician's Assistant Program. Check out page 6 to see how the program plans to implement this new donation. The culture section begins on page 7 this week with a preview of the upcoming Colca Celebration Week in honor of last year's merging of the College of Liberal Arts and the College of Arts and Communication. More about the fun events planned during this week of activities on page 7. Next up, we report on the Sexual Assault Awareness Month and how to promote advocacy on campus. More on page 8. Ending the culture section on pages 9 and 10, we present photo pages of recent events on campus. Page 9 displays WLU organizations promoting healthy living during a health fair held inside the Student Union. Page 10 displays the Kappa Phi Suicide Awareness Walk and the many clubs who attend in support. Check out our culture section on pages 9 and 10 for a closer look into each of these events. The opinion section begins on page 11 with a review of the Hilltop Players' rendition of Urinetown the Musical. Read about the different characters and their performance on page 11. Flip to page 12 for a look into the free fitness classes offered to students on campus and what some students think about them. Learn about this opportunity on page 12. To catch up on all things Hilltopper sports, check out our sports section. This week's sports update begins on page 13 with a recap of the men's and women's latest golf outings. Read about their latest performance and the remaining games of the season on page 13. Next up, the men's and women's track and field team continued their successful season with new records set at the Westminster Invitational page on page 14. On the next page, you can read about the unfortunate MEC semifinal loss that concluded the acro and tumbling team's season. Keep up to date on the acro and tumbling team by checking out page 15. Ending the sports section this week, the Hilltoppers softball team had reason to celebrate over the weekend after 2 pairs of victories on Senior Day. Read about their latest game on page 16. That concludes the Trumpet's updates for this week. To read the Trumpet, issue 21, visit thetrumpetwlu.org. See you next Wednesday for more updates. I'm Brianna Hammond, reporting for Newsline 14 on Topper Station.
We'll be right back after this break.
Coming up next is West Lib's Sports Update. Find out which team had 2 victories against Fairmont, right here on Newsline 14.
Funniest show ever.
Hey, whoa, hey man, what are you doing? Hey man, what are you doing? I don't think you're split to drive.
Nah, man, it's all good. My house is like just 20 seconds up that street.
It doesn't matter. It's still not a good idea. I don't think you're fit to drive.
Dude, we've been friends for like 10 years, man. Can't you trust me?
That doesn't matter here. I do trust you, but I don't think you're fit to drive.
Well then, just Shut up! Shut up! I can totally drive myself a mile up to my house. Fine then, if that's what you want to do, so be it. What the?
Every day in America, another 28 people die as a result of drunk driving crashes. Don't be the next victim.
You're watching Newsline 14.
Welcome back to this edition of Newsline 14. I'm Sean McClurg.
And I'm Anya Ritz. Let's see what's happening on the Hilltop in sports.
West Liberty University softball team saw 2 victories in their doubleheader against Fairmont during the MEC North Division game. In the first game, Fairmont carried a 2-0 lead into the 4th inning until WLU's Annie Patterson hit a solo home run and Anna Welsh tied the game with a home run of her own. Katie Beeman hit an RBI at the top of the 6th, and Riley Conkle hit another RBI, sending Beeman home. The first game saw a total of 10 strikeouts, all owing West Liberty to win 4-2. The second game, Fairmont took a 2-1 lead in the 6th inning, but West Liberty's Caitlin Blair took an RBI at the top of the 7th to tie the game. Jerika Baylor scored on an infield error in the 9th inning, allowing West Liberty to take the lead. The Hilltoppers won 4-2 in this game as well. The Hilltoppers will meet again at home on Wednesday for a doubleheader against Wheeling University starting at 4.
Speaking of West Liberty teams beating Fairmont, West Liberty's acro and tumbling team had their highest team event score at their last event, which just so happened to be against Fairmont State. The Falcons were able to beat West Liberty by nearly 5 points in the MEC tournament semifinal at Joe Retton Arena. After the first 2 events of WLU's meet against Fairmont, the Hilltoppers were behind by only 1.5 points. Coach Kelsey Kyle expected the team to take the lead after the Pyramid event, which is usually the team's strongest event. The Hilltoppers suffered a major deduction, which resulted in a score of 6.6, 25 out of a possible 10. However, the team event was a victory for the Hilltoppers with a season high of 89.17 points, a strong victory over Fairmont. The West Liberty acro and tumbling team will meet again at the Joe Retton Arena on April 9th at 11 to compete in the MEC individual event finals.
West Liberty men's tennis drops 4th in a row. West Liberty lost a crucial match against the University of Charleston on April 8th. After a strong start to the season, the men's team has hit a cold spell. West Liberty men's tennis started the season at a strong 5-2. The midpoint of the season has been very disappointing thus far for our team. The Golden Eagles of Charleston came into the Friday's match as the heavy favorite, going 12-2 at the time. They now sit at 13-2. Our boys are sitting at an underwhelming 9-6. With 4 games before the MEC championships, West Liberty men's tennis needs to finish strong to gain some of the momentum going into the tournament. This season is far from over. The next 4 matches include games against St. Francis University, Davis and Elkins, Fairmont State University, and Salem University. These are all winnable games for the Hilltoppers.
The WLU men's golf team has had quite the season of team awards and individual awards. Newsline 14 reporter Stephen Graby has more on their successful campaign.
After a second-place finish in the MEC Championships and a first-place finish in the Charleston Invitational, the West Lib men's golf team is prepared for regionals.
West Liberty's men's golf team is also home to the MEC Player of the Year and Alex Eastholm. Freshman golfer Noah Severston says that Alex is the hardest worker on the team.
I'm excited for regionals. We have a really good team this year, and with D&E playing so good at nationals last year, they actually added a spot for our regional. So 4 teams out of our regional is going to get into the national championship. And then from there, I mean, just hope we can continue playing good up in Michigan for the nationals.
Alex is very humble in winning this award, as he understands it takes a lot of hard work to win it. However, he is still really looking forward to regionals, as he says they have a very good team this year.
So tell me a little bit about how deserving Alex is of this award and how the season went.
Well, Alex is an extremely hard worker. I mean, he grinds day in, day out on the course, off the course, in the classroom. He does everything the right way. And it's awesome to see him win an award like this, just knowing how deserving he was of it and how hard he works. And, I mean, the team also got a win down in Charleston. We've been grinding, been able to get outside a lot, really getting after it. And I think the team chemistry's there. Everyone really wants to succeed. And I think we finally put one all together this week.
Coach O'Beckney, the men's head golf coach, is very proud of Alex's award and his hard work, and is excited to see how the team will perform in regionals.
Hard at the game, hardest worker on the team. He has a job during the week actually that he works 3 or 4 days a week, and he still manages to get out there and practice every morning that he can. Every afternoon we have team practice. He's established his dominance in the MEC for sure.
Visit the website below for updates on the golf regional tournament. I'm Stephen Graby, reporting for Newsline 14 on Topper Station.
Thank you, Stephen. Now back to more on West Liberty's athletics.
The West Liberty women's golf team made the short trip up to Ogilby Jones Golf Course for the Muskingum Ogilby Invitational, hosted by Muskingum University. In the 4-team event, the Hilltoppers placed second with a team score of 368, 30 points behind first place Otterbein University. MEC Conference standout Kaylee Pettit was runner-up in the medal chase with an individual score of 84, while sophomore Aaron Shockey tied for third with 85. This is the last event on the Hilltoppers schedule, but the team ended the season strong with a win at the West Liberty Invitational, as well as the aforementioned Pettit placing third in the MEC Championships in October.
The NFL mourns the loss of quarterback Dwayne Haskins. Haskins played quarterback at Ohio State University, where he would set several records. Shortly after his playing time with the Buckeyes ended, Haskins would enter the NFL draft. In the 2019 NFL draft, Haskins was drafted by the Washington Commanders. After a brief 2-year stint with Washington, Haskins would end up signing with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Haskins spent this past season as a backup for the Steelers. Haskins was set to enter his second season with the Steelers this upcoming season. To prepare for the upcoming season, Haskins and a few teammates were in South Florida for training. Early Saturday morning on April 9th, Haskins was struck by a vehicle while crossing the highway. Haskins was pronounced dead on impact. Haskins was just 24 years old.
We'll be right back after the break.
The 5-day forecast is coming up next. Find out if the weather will stay warm here on Newsline 14.
The Paul N. Elbin Library is your destination for learning. Featuring over 200,000 items in print, audio, and video formats. Students have access to search for books of all kinds. Our state-of-the-art egg chairs give the user an immersive experience. We offer both Macs and Dells for your convenience. Please be sure to follow all signs. Our hours are Monday through Thursday 8 to 11, Fridays 8 to 4, Saturdays are closed, Sundays 5 to 11. Our friendly staff will assist in finding the right study material for you, whether it's a physical copy or on the school's database. The Paul N. Elbin Library at West Liberty University. Please call 304-336-8261.
Welcome back to Newsline 14. I'm Stephen Graby, and this is the weather update. Spring weather seems like it is officially staying. It is currently 73 degrees here on the hilltop and partly cloudy. We will hit a low of 61 degrees during the night, with winds gusting up to 20 miles an hour. Now, onto the map. Out west here in California, it's 69 degrees. If we move over into Denver and the Rockies, unfortunately, Denver is only at a high of 43 degrees. Good thing the Rockies are out of time for baseball. If we move down to the Lone Star State of Texas, they decided to skip spring as they're at a high of 95 degrees. Moving over to Missouri, they are at a high of 72 degrees, but they are in a severe thunderstorm warning, so please be careful if you're out there. If we move down here into Florida, it's a solid 80 degrees. And then moving up to New York City, they decided to finally skip past winter, finally, as they're at 69 degrees. Nice. And here in the Ohio Valley, we're at 74 degrees. We'll be right back. Stay tuned to hear if the sunny weather is here to stay or not. The 5-day forecast is coming up next.
During the cold and flu season, it is important for people to practice good coughing etiquette, like covering your mouth and nose with tissue. And if you don't have a tissue, cough or sneeze into your sleeve, not your hand. Putting your used tissue in a wastebasket. And always remember to wash your hands. For more information, call 1-800-232-4700. 4636.
Welcome back to Newsline 14. I'm Stephen Graby with a 5-day forecast. Thursday will be a cool 65 degrees with a low of 41. We'll have a 60% chance of rain during the day with winds up to 15 miles an hour. The nicer weather will move back in on Friday. It will be mostly sunny with a high of 67 during the day, reaching a low of 49 degrees. Then, just like that, we will be getting a chance of rain again on Saturday with a high of a chilly 60 and a 40% chance of rain during the day, and plummeting to a low of 33 degrees during the night. The Easter Bunny will be bringing in some sunny weather during the day on Sunday with partly cloudy skies with a high of 50 degrees. However, during the night, we will have a 40% chance of rain moving in and a low of 37 degrees. That cold temperature will stick around for Monday as well. It'll be cloudy during the day with some rain showers during the day and a high of 48 degrees, reaching a low of 38 during the night and possibly seeing some showers there as well.
Thank you so much for watching this edition of Newsline 14. I am Siddhi Mahatole.
And I'm Lainey Lynch. Remember to come back next Wednesday at 2 for more updates and have a great week.